Chipra prasadam, quick mercy, pragrit angripadam, his lotus feet having been taken shelter of. Translation. You have excluded Lord Shiva from taking part in the sacrificial rituals, and therefore you are all offenders at his lotus feet. Still, if you go without mental reservations and surrender unto him and fall down at his lotus feet, he will be very pleased. Purport. Lord Shiva is also called Ashutosh. Ashu means very soon, and Tosha means to become satisfied. The demigods were advised to go to Lord Shiva and beg his pardon because he is very easily pleased. It was certain that their purpose would be served. Lord Brahma knew the mind of the Lord Shiva very well, and he was confident that the demigods who were offenders at his lotus feet could mitigate their offenses by going to him and surrendering without reservation. We'll do the pranam mantra. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitidamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Vicharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Shri Chaitanya Manavishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayan Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jutapadakamala Shri Guru Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Nitamsya हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये कल्पतरुश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यो च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. First of all, please accept my humble obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas. Seek your blessing so that I can say something which adds value to this hour. Also, seek blessing of His Grace Madhukati Prabhu for engaging in this seva so that I can do some Shastra study, which increases my love for devotion service. We are reading this wonderful discussion between Lord Brahma and the demigods. All the demigods have approached Lord Brahma because they were beaten up in the sacrificial arena arranged by Daksha. Daksha has been killed, and there are other demigods who have been either who have lost their teeth or hands, and the other brahmanas present were also punished because Mata Sati, when she visited her father at this sacrificial arena, we saw that her husband, Lord Shiva, is neglected, and she gave up her body And after that, Lord Shiva sent his uh, associates to uh, take the uh, provide the punishment. Now, um, um, it is being said here that Lord Brahma is saying that all this is a result of because you have offended Lord Shiva, and the only way to um, get rid of this offense is that if you approach the lotus feet of uh, Lord Shiva himself. And this all story began when Daksha Prajapati uh, felt that he has been offended by his son-in-law, Lord Shiva. And then he Daksha Prajapati then said few bad things about Lord Shiva. Uh, and why I'm repeating that is because in this chapter we will see how Maitreya Muni, when he's talking to Vidurji, he's he's saying that these all things which were said by Daksha, when the description of Kailash Parvat and the beauty of that region, and then the position of Lord Shiva will be described. All those things will come and become lies. What is Daksha saying is that Shiva has spoiled the name and fame of the governors of the universe and has polluted the path of gentle manners. Because he is shameless, he does not know how to act. And this is the first thing which Daksha told to uh, Lord Shiva. Now, when we read this further, we will see that how this is all wrong. Because uh, when Lord Brahma will take all the demigods to Lord Shiva, Lord Shiva will stand up and then will pay obeisances to Lord Brahma, saying that respecting him as father. And Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport of that verse that just this offering of Lord Shiva, offering obeisances to uh, Lord Brahma, is similar to the obeisances paid by uh, Lord Vamanadev to Kashyapa Muni, or to Lord Krishna paying obeisances to Nanda Maharaj. Um, Even though Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Nanda Maharaj, Mother Yashoda, or Devaki Vasudeva, uh, they have taken the position of parents, but they are actually serving the Lord in Vatsalya Ras. But because of that position, Lord is paying obeisances and showing, uh, setting an example. Uh, so similarly, though the position of Lord Shiva is higher than Lord Brahma, he is the Guna avatar of the Supreme Lord. Um, and he is actually, we know many times, it is very, this example is given that there is actually no difference between Lord Shiva and Lord Krishna, or the difference is very similar to the difference between curd and milk, that which are at a tattva level similar, but also different. That they could be thought of as same as well as different. They are milk products, One is a milk, other is a milk product. So this first thing which is being told by Daksha to Lord Shiva is wrong. Now, second thing he's saying is that he has already accepted himself as my subordinate by marrying my daughter in the process of fire uh, and Brahmana. He has married my daughter who is equal to Gayatri and has pretended to be just like an honest person. He has eyes like monkeys, yet he has married my daughter, whose eyes are like that of a deer cow. Nevertheless, he does not stand up to receive me, nor did he think is fit to welcome me with the sweet words. So this is again falling onto the same thing that he does not know how to act. But Lord Shiva is will it will be nullified or converted into lie once we see how Lord Shiva is acting in front of Lord Brahma. Then he says that uh, I had no desire to give my daughter to this person who was broken, who has broken all rules of civility because of not observing the required rules and regulations. He is impure, but I was obliged to hand over my daughter to him just as one teaches the message of the Vedas to a Shudra. So he's saying that he is impure. He doesn't keep it clean. Sometimes we say that no, Lord Shiva is putting the ashes all over his body. But we'll see that how in the description of Kailasha and the abode of Lord Shiva in this chapter further, we'll see how Kumaras and Narad Muni and others are actually uh, paying their obeisances and learning Bhagavad Katha from Lord Shiva. Um, Also, he is saying, Daksha is saying that he lives in filthy places like crematoriums, and his companions are the ghosts and demons. Naked like a madman, sometimes laughing and sometimes crying, he smears crematorium ashes all over his body. He does not bath regularly, and and his ornaments, his body and he ornaments his body with a garland of skull and bones. Therefore, only in name is Shiva or auspicious. And will be so Daksha is saying that Lord Shiva is living in a dirty place. But we will see how the place which is described is actually so good that even the demigods and then the uh, citizens of higher planetary system visit that place, and the water which is flowing in that is actually Ganga water. That's where you know they take bath. So all these points which are being raised by Daksha are will be actually converted into lies by the description of the Kailash Parvat. Um, and also comes the point that among those who are actually uh, present in their assembly um, is Kuvera. Sanat Kumara, or the four Kumaras, who are, both, we can look at it from both angles. One, on the Kuvera side, he is so rich, and then on the side of Narad Muni, and then the four Kumaras, they are so spiritually advanced. Uh, these are the points which are mentioned by um, Daksha, but are actually nullified in the process. Then, um, you know, So, so how do we understand this then? The sacrifice and the yajna being performed by um, Daksha, is that even valid? And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that Lord Krishna says, Mad Bhaktya Pujaad Puja Bhyadika. The worship of my devotees is better than the worship of me. Uh, Similar reference is uh, made in Lagu Bhagavatamrita, that the worship of Mukunda is obligatory, so also to avoid intractable blame is the worship of his devotees. So, um, Lord becomes happy when you worship, but you cannot get the favors of the Lord if you neglect the devotees of the Supreme Lord. And that is what has happened. Daksha thinks that he can perform the yajna and make Supreme Lord happy, but at the same time he can ignore a devotee of the Lord or ignore Lord Shiva. And and we can see that in this yajna which is performed, Supreme Lord doesn't go, and then Lord Brahma doesn't go there. And by the description in this chapter, we see that Narad Muni doesn't visit there. Four Kumaras don't go there. Um, Demigods like Ashwini Kumar and Kuvera, all of them skip the sacrifice being performed by Daksha. So um, we cannot neglect the devotee of the Lord and at the same time think that this uh, uh, the devotional service we are performing is actually accepted by the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord is so even though all the Brahmanas are performing, this beautiful arrangement and then chanting the Vedic hymns, but just because Lord Shiva is neglected there, um, Supreme Lord doesn't go there. Uh, then I wanted to read the description which comes about the Kailash. That while traveling, this is when Lord Brahma is leading the demigods um, to the uh, uh, to the place where Lord Shiva is sitting. He is saying that while traveling, the demigods pass over the forest known as Saugandhika, which is full of varieties of flowers, fruits, and desired trees. While passing over the forest, they also saw the region of Yaksheshwara. And in the purport, um, Srila Prabhupada writes that uh, the the region where Lord Shiva lives, Kailash, it's named as Kailash by the grace of Krishna, is full of the trees like desired trees. And he's saying that the Kailasha has a special significance because it is almost like the residence of Lord Krishna. So this place where Lord Shiva lived, one of the things which Daksha points out that um, you know he lives in impure places, and then look at the mockery being made of that statement, where it is as good as it's full of desire trees, and Srila Prabhupada is explaining that it is as good as the uh, place of Lord Krishna. It is very in the same category as or very similar to Goloka Dham. Uh, and then what is Lord Shiva doing there? So we can see there. Uh, he is sitting there with his His left leg was placed on the right thigh, and his left hand was placed on his left thigh. And this sitting posture is called Virasana. And in his right hand, he has Rudaksha hands, and uh, his finger was in the mode of argument. And then the what is happening here? And the Lord Shiva sat there surrounded by saintly persons like Kuvera, the master of the Guhyakal, and the four Kumaras who were already liberated souls. And so this is what is happening here. You know um, that Lord Shiva's association with Kumaras and Kuvera indicates that he has all transcendental and material opulences. Actually, he is the qualitative incarnation of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, his position is very exalted. Um, um, and then, um, Lord Brahma also explains to demigods that Lord Shiva is uh, Ashutosh. He can be very easily satisfied, and even later on, this is something which is also understood by. Um, it is also understood by Daksha. So so Daksha is saying, I did not know. This is after Daksha has been revived. That he's saying, I did not know your full glories. For this reason, I threw arrows of sharp words at you in the open assembly. Although you did not take them into account, I was going down to hell because of my disobedience to you, who are the most respectable personalities. But you took compassion upon me and saved me by awarding punishment. I request that you be pleased by your own mercy, since I cannot satisfy you with my words. So, in here, a very important point being mentioned. There are 2 points actually. One is that uh, the that Lord is satisfied easily, but the other one is that the punishment which is given to Daksha. So here it is. Prabhupada explains that there are punishments which are given to a child. So sometimes a father punishes his child, and when the child is grown up and comes to his senses, he understands that father's. I'm sorry, the horse is walking out and is reading this, and he's looking at me with wilder faces. Um, he understands that father's punishment was not actually punishment but mercy. Similarly, Daksha appreciated that the punishment offered to him by Lord Shiva was a manifestation of Lord Shiva's mercy. So there are sometimes punishments which are for correction, because we can see that um, when Daksha first time he said these insults to Lord Shiva, he was not immediately punished. He walked away. And the result of that was that he continued to offend. And maybe on the first offense, if he was corrected or punished, he could have stopped the insults and offense to Lord Shiva. But because he was not, he was let go. He continued his offense to Lord Shiva for many years, many thousands of years, and that actually culminated in him uh, losing his life. He is actually killed uh, by uh, by the associates of Lord Shiva, and then um, only on the request of Lord Brahma and other demigods he was revived back. He was put in because his head was Prajapati Daksh's head was burned into the sacrificial arena. He was awarded the head of a ghost. So, so with that, the two important things which I wanted to highlight. One is that if we think we can worship Lord, but at the same time neglect the devotees of the Lord, that's not something which is possible. Sometime, we may think that okay, by neglecting the demigods like Lord Shiva, Mata Durga, or Ganesh ji, um, or Surya Bhagwan, we can have a direct association of Supreme Lord, and then we can make him happy. That's not the right way. These are supreme personalities. And these are very powerful personalities, and then are in the service of the supreme personality of Godhead. So we have to provide due respect to them. Um, what that does not mean is that we go on and then start the worship, but at the same time we cannot disrespect them. And then the second point is that sometimes we get these punishments or chastisements from our seniors, and that's also important um, because that's for correction, so that it can save us from other grave mistakes. So those are the 2 points which I wanted to point out. Stop here. Sorry, we went 2 minutes over. Over to you, Madhukar.